Alright, everyone, time to take a look at the final episode of the day, which is Unchained. Thea passes out during a mission, worrying everyone. Felicity learns that injury is ruining the company when she goes through a dry run of her presentation. Her dry run is awkward and she knocks into things as she rolls around in the wheelchair. Oliver shows up at Thea's and learns that Malcolm is there talking about fixing Thea. Oliver doesn't like what Malcolm has to say. Oliver then receives the call about a mission but didn't want to go. Thea told him to, so he headed out, but it's not his gear. Oliver chases after the guy manages to catch him. It is Roy, something that surprises him. Roy then punches him and runs off. Oliver heads to the arrow cave and fills the others in. Oliver then receives a message from Alex, his campaign manager. Oliver learns that Jamie's wife, Ruve Adams, has put her name in the ring for mayor. In the past, Oliver is being tortured by the leader for the reason he got the maps. As Oliver is tortured, someone shoots them and then greets Oliver. In the present, Oliver addresses the Green Arrow and approaches Ruve, wanting a meeting with Damien Dark. Felicity learns about where Roy had been taking. Felicity tries calling Curtis, but Roy is already there. Curtis and Roy begin to fight, and Curtis holds his own for a time. Felicity realizes something, so Oliver shoots Roy and knocks him out. Not before Roy said the tech he stole out the window. Oliver moves the camera from Roy's eye before waking him up, and then fills them in on how he was being blackmailed. In the past, Oliver is set free and he is very confused as the woman who had freed him is Shadow, but she is dead. She tells him that he needs to forgive himself and return home. In the present, Nissa heads to Japan to a temple. They bow before the entrance before Nissa heads inside. She greets Tatsu, who is doing the christened order. Nissa and Tatsu then fight due to the fact that Nissa was there for something that Tatsu was guarding, the lotus. Tatsu removes her mask, and Nissa tells her that she has something that is a matter for Oliver. In the arrow cave, Oliver and Roy are talking, and as a result, Roy has to see Thea. She's very happy to see him, but she starts coughing and suddenly her wound opens before it closes again. Oliver has to talk to Felicity and the guy catches her. They talk together and Felicity learns that he is going to take down a city. It then locks Felicity out. She realizes how bad the guy is, and it could shut down the hospitals. Felicity then remembers something that Ray had made the year before Palmertech and races off. The year before for Palmertech and races off. In the past, Oliver is hallucinating talking to Shadow about how he is lying to Tiana. Felicity has a Palmertech, and Curtis is amazed that Felicity was kick-ass now versus the one from the dry run. He tells her that the company needs to kick-ass Felicity. Oliver goes to see Thea, and she learns that she has a meeting with Damien. She's unimpressed and tells him that he can't fix this. Then heads to the room where Malcolm is. He knew that Oliver is meeting Damien due to overhearing the conversation. Felicity finds out about the bad guy, so they all head out, all except Oliver, who is about to meet Dark. He receives the message. The bad guy's employees break in and learn that a worm has evaded the tech. At the same time, Dick, Roy, and Canary are on site and learn that the man hired mercenaries. Oliver then arrives and knocks out the mercenaries. The group all realize that they need to detonate the bomb manually, so Roy volunteers to stay as it was his fault the guy was there. Roy warns the mercenaries. Roy goes to shoot, and then he's able to get away in time. Head to the arrow cave, and Roy talks about heading back out. Oliver says to back Thea's play. In the past, Oliver wakes up when Tiana is happy. Oliver stops her and tells her he was the one who killed her brother. Oliver opens his hand and saw that the rock his hallucination had given him was there. Lucy presents her presentation to the board and Oliver Queen. She answers that the battery is powering the building. What Oliver didn't know was that the calculator was sitting next to him. Roy is with Thea, and they talk about how he should go get married and be normal. She cries, and Roy tells her that he would do everything with her if he could, then tells her he loves her. They hug. At the end of the presentation, Lucy and Oliver are together when Oliver heads out. She then turns around and is brought face to face with the calculator, also known as her father. Oliver heads to the apartment and talks with Malcolm in the hallway. Lauren interrupts and says that Thea is now in a coma, so Thea is brought to the hospital. He sits by her side when Nissa shows up. She tells him that she will give him the lotus if he kills Malcolm. Dun dun dun. So anyway, let's take a look at some trivia surrounding this episode. Calculator is an old Batman villain who was reworked during Identity Crisis as an evil version of Oracle. In the comics, he has no connection to Felicity Smoke. The Calculator makes reference to the Beatles, leading Felicity mentioning two of their songs, I Want to Hold Your Hand and Hey Jude. When Timur was pursuing a robber, John describes Zucker Bags to being a member of the Cirque du Soleil. Cirque du Soleil is a Canadian entertainment company. It started as a circus show and is now the largest theatrical producer in the world, which travels all around the globe, and has been running since 1984. Oliver mentioned he's been running back and forth to Central City, being referring to seeing William and Samantha as part of Samantha's ultimatum in Legends of Yesterday. This last episode to feature Colton Haynes as Roy Harper until the season 6 episode Doppelganger, which aired 2 years later. Roy is shown robbing a company called Cadmus Tech, as possible reference to Project Cadmus, a genetic engineering project headed by Amanda Waller. Project Cadmus would appear in season 2 of Supergirl. Roy mentioned he was living in Hub City. In the comics, Hub City is the home of Victor Sage, aka The Question. And now finally, let's take a look at some goofs. Dr. Short says Thea is barely a 3 on the Glasgow scale. The normal score on the Glasgow Coma scale is 3, which is completely unresponsive. It's impossible for Thea to score lower. In the opening scene during Niss's escape, there is a visual anomaly where it's appeared they tried to superimpose Katrina Law's face or Selma's face or tried to mask the stepmom's face entirely. So overall, I think this is a pretty interesting episode, and let's just hope that things will get better for Thea in the next few episodes. I hope so, yeah. So overall, I give Unchained 4 arrowheads out of 5. By the way, tune in as we till the next episode, Sins of the Father. So, until then, in the words of Oliver Queen, you have failed this city.